Welcome back. More to share with you about estate planning. Now, an often overlooked part of estate planning is communication. You can get all the documents in place. You can work with an attorney. You can work with an advisor, a financial planner to do your estate planning. Wills, trusts, powers of attorney, all of those important documents. You can make the effort to protect your assets, to do good planning, investment strategies. You get long-term care insurance to protect your assets from, or at least help with the cost of long-term care. You take all these steps. You talk to your CPA about tax planning. You do all of that. But one of the most important things you can do is communicate with your family. Now, what do I mean by that? It means having dinner and just talking. Well, here's what I'm after. All these plans are great, but you need to let your family know that they're in place. You need to have a place you keep things. You need to let them know where it is. There are stories after stories after stories of families that say that, mom or dad told us that not to worry and everything will be fine. And then when something happened, they couldn't find things. And I've had a couple of situations not long ago where there were stock certificates that were lost, or the key to the safety deposit box couldn't be located, or there were actual cash monies that were left and couldn't be found. With the proliferation of people having cash at home because they're concerned about not being able to get cash from an ATM because of some sort of cyber attack, or not. The other one is also gold, having actual physical gold. All those things, you need to let people know where things are. Now, I'm not saying advertise it to everyone. Be very careful who you tell, because if a friend tells a friend tells a friend, you may have a problem. But what I'm really getting at is having communication with your family so they know what to do. If you have a will, a trust, all those documents, especially the power of attorney, where are they? Make sure your family knows. Now, you don't have to tell them every single thing about your finances. A lot of families are reluctant to do that for several reasons. They like their privacy. They don't want the kids to have an expectation about those monies. Maybe they don't want it to impair their drive or work ethic. If mom and dad are worth a couple $1 million and son or daughter says to themselves, well, you know what, I'm going to get that. Maybe I don't work so hard, or maybe I don't take that opportunity that requires me to work a little harder. Parents are concerned about that. There's also the concern about being hit up for gifts or a whole manner of different things. There's also the very real element that is still thinking about the kids as kids. You still remember the diaper days, and you don't really think of them as an adult. Well, we've got to get over all of that and have those conversations so that when the memory isn't as good, or when something happens, if you are incapacitated, you go in for some routine surgery and there's a problem, they need to know where to go. They need to know how to get to your checking account, to pay your bills. There needs to be that communication. When do you tell them? When do you talk to them? I always say sooner rather than later, because accidents happen. Tell them what your income sources are. Where do you get your income from? Again, you don't have to tell them everything, but you need to say, look, I've got Social Security, I've got this pension, I've got this source of income, just so they know. Taxes, where do you get your taxes done? Who's the tax preparer? Where do you keep your tax returns? Who's the financial planner? What's the name of the company? Where are they located? What's the telephone number? Get an extra business card and say, here, put that in your pocket, or put that somewhere where you can have it if something happens. Let them know where these things are and who to talk to, because they may need to access this information. They might need to get with these people. I talked about online banking, credit cards. All of these things are important things. Do you own your home? Where's the deed? If the bank owns it, you've got a mortgage, who is it? Where's the mortgage documents? The most recent statement. What if you can't pay your bill? You want to make sure somebody else can step in and do that. What else is out there? I mentioned the safety deposit box. Oh, if you're renting, where's the lease agreement? Just think through the kinds of things people would need to have or be able to look at to be able to step in and handle your affairs while you cannot. And then if you do pass, they then can go through those things in an orderly fashion. They can look at what needs to be done. Without that, it can be a real mess. In other words, if you've gone to the trouble, and it's not really a lot of trouble, but if you've been proactive and smart about making sure you've got all these things put in place, then take the extra step and make sure that all of those documents are in a known place and that your family knows what to do. You know, there's a briefcase where you keep all of this in one place and your kids know where it is. Or there's a safe in your house and your kids know where to find the combination to the safe. I mean, these are just some of the different things to think about to make life easier for your survivors. Where do you keep extra sets of keys? How about an alarm system? All common sense stuff, but again, you've worked hard all your life to accumulate and to protect your money, to have it be what you want. And if you've gone to the extra step of getting all the estate planning done, and if you haven't, please do so. But to have all that put in place is a great gift. It's a great legacy and for the family. I've worked with families in the two extremes where one has had everything buttoned down to the point there is a binder which has everything in it, and it is typed and it is organized and it has each section marked out of what's where, and it's this excellent roadmap. And then I've worked with families where it's chaos, where nobody knows where anything is. And of course, I can tell you that with those two extremes, which one do you think created more stress for the family? Which one was more expensive to take care of? Which one had more legal costs associated with it? You know, sometimes people are reluctant to spend money putting a will or trust or things like that in place because they just don't want to be bothered. A lot of people don't like thinking about their own mortality, and they think they have plenty of time, and very often they just don't want to spend the money. If you don't have those things in place, or if you are cheap about them, and what I mean by that, if you've gone with kind of a handwritten will or trust, or you've done something on the computer, or you filled in the blank with some forms, those things may not get the job done, and ironically, may end up costing a lot more than if you had just gone to an attorney, found somebody you trust, somebody you're comfortable with, and somebody that is going to be fair about the price of these services to get the documents you need in place. That ultimate cost can be far, far less than if you would try to do it on your own or try to go, quote unquote, the cheap or easy or less expensive way. So I'm a big advocate of talking to your family, have that communication. Maybe remember the diaper days, but get over that, get past that, have that communication with your family, and make sure that things are organized just in case, because you just don't know. And we've had phone calls in my office of people where we get the call from the child and somebody has either become ill or they have died, and we are surprised because it happens sometimes not at expected time. So these are all important things for you to plan your future and plan them stronger.